I created a routine and followed a set of habits that took me from $60,000 of debt to making my first $4 million online. And the thing is, this routine is pretty intense and you wouldn't want to live this way forever, but if you follow these habits for even a short amount of time, you can get exceptional results very quickly. So it turns out that there's this very popular concept online called monk mode, which is basically where you commit to doing a set of habits for a given period of time to get exceptional results. And the great thing about it is the habits you choose for monk mode can vary based on what your goals are. So let's say, for example, that you want to get six-pack abs very fast, right? So you might have a lot of focus around habits that contribute to your health, such as going to the gym and eating well, right? And you want to get really good at relationships and dating, you might focus on habits around that. Or if you're watching this channel, you might want to build a real online business and make a lot of money, and that's okay. So you focus on habits around all of that, and all of these things can be improved at the same time. But by focusing your habits on one aspect of your life, you make things easy and your results a whole lot faster. So monk mode is all about removing things from your life that are not contributing to your goal and populating your time with habits that yield huge results fast. So I do monk mode a little bit different from most of the people that I've seen. From what I've seen, you usually focus on, around 3 things that you focus on for a few months usually. But for me, I like to think of it from a macro and micro perspective. So I'll have an overall goal with my monk mode for a period of, 3 months usually, which might be to make a certain amount of money in my business or whatever, right? Then on any given day, I'm tracking my habits on my spreadsheet and following through with a range of things related to health, wealth, and relationships, but I'll have one thing that I focus on very deeply each day. And I think that having that singular focus, such as 4 hours of deep work on your business, and then the things that support your focus and energy on that one thing, such as, for example, meditation, no media, and exercise, allow you to keep total focus while also maximizing your output. So in my days, I also set rest periods so I can recharge from a pretty intense day. So I'll usually take about 4 hours at the end of my day to completely unwind and relax, and that way I'm focused on being completely perfect all day to get that little break to release the pressure, so to speak. And that way I can maintain my monk modes for much longer periods beyond 3 months. And then I have other periods where I don't track my habits at all, right? I might be partying and traveling and having more experiences, and I'm focused more on relaxing and getting enjoyment. So I've learned over many years of doing this that there are some habits you absolutely must have as part of your monk mode, and others that are less essential, but if you have the capacity, can be helpful. So here are the absolute must-have habits in your monk mode periods. Meditation is something a lot of people overcomplicate, but at the end of the day, it's a scientifically proven way to massively improve your ability to focus over long periods of time. And it's easy. All you need to do is sit still, focus on your breath, and watch your thoughts for at least 15 minutes every day. As long as you can sit there for 15 minutes, you can count that as a successful session. And once you get good at it, you can start counting the reps, how many times you got lost in thought, and simply noticing yourself lose focus improves your focus over time. So exercise isn't just the single most important thing that you can do for your health, it's also essential for your energy levels and simply ability to get stuff done. It doesn't matter if it's lifting weights, going for a run, playing sports, or even going for a long walk. Getting your body moving will give you focus and a clarity of mind that makes you feel more effective in your day-to-day life. So if you want to get a lot of results fast, you must be consistently getting exercise every single day. Deep work is the most important part of this equation. I talk a lot about deep work on this channel because it's essential if you want to maximize what you get out of your time. And deep work is simply the concept of sitting down in an environment clear of distractions and working on a single thing for a few hours each day. And this means, no phone, no social media, no 100 tabs open, just simply focusing on the important things for a few hours. And one thing that really helps me avoid the distracting things, when I'm working on my computer or my phone, is an app called Stay Focused, which basically blocks anything that you shouldn't be using on your computer and your phone during the deep work sessions. Freedom is another app you can use on your iPhone, but there are many of these apps out there. You can find whatever one you prefer. And a pro tip for deep work is listening to the same music every time you work, because humans are simple creatures, okay? We get triggered by cues like music, so after a little while doing this, you're going to find that you fall into a deep work trance pretty quick. And the best kind of music from my experience is game soundtracks, because good video game soundtracks have been, engineered to get you to focus in on the game for as long as possible. So a couple of soundtracks I like to listen to while working are the Doom Eternal soundtrack and any Total War game soundtracks, but you can choose whatever soundtracks you like the most or whatever playlist you like the most. It doesn't really matter as long as it gets you into that trance. Now, this next habit has similarities to deep work in that it's meant to bring you to the present moment, give you focus, clarity, and full control of your mental capacity, because we're all stuck on social media all day and like rats on a wheel have the habit of grabbing our phone and opening apps subconsciously. So we can no longer rely on our own willpower for becoming distracted. For some people, simply putting your devices in a box or something like that would work. But for those of us, building an online business, we need something a bit smarter than a box, okay? So we have to be a bit more intelligent and more kind of strategic when it comes to removing social media and any kind of media from our life. So the solution is to set up tools like Stay Focused and App Blocker that prevent you from randomly getting distracted and opening your phone or random browsers or websites on your computer. And obviously I'm not expecting you to completely remove all forms of media from your life. It's 2023, but if you did that, it would be great. But most of us would fail to keep up with such a habit. So we need to set things up to make it easy for us to succeed. And that's why each day in my version of monk mode, I block out time for these things as a reward for, being focused all day. If I get all of my habits done, then I give myself, 30 minutes or an hour or, even 4 hours to relax and watch whatever I want, or go and hang out with my friends, or check all of the apps on my phone, whatever it may be. But in my experience, that doesn't really take away from all of your gains in the rest of the day. And these breaks relieve the pressure, allowing you to keep your monk mode going much longer. Now, the entire point of monk mode is to make substantial progress towards your goals in a very short amount of time. And to do this, we minimize our distractions and maximize our focus so we can have as much attention as possible on the goal at hand. So alcohol and drugs of any kind are going to drain your focus and really hinder your ability to get things done. So it goes without saying that you should avoid these things, at least during the duration of your monk mode period. And unlike, checking your apps at the end of the day for 30 minutes or so, having 1 or 2 drinks of alcohol a day or smoking a bit of weed is going to have a negative impact on your energy and focus for days, okay? Days afterwards. So this is an absolute no-go during your monk modes if you want to really maximize your focus and energy and get things done. Now, there are some other habits that you can stack on top of the core 5 if you wish, but I really think for beginners, it's going to be hard enough to stick to one habit. And if you go beyond 5, it's going to be extremely difficult unless, you're really advanced at living this kind of lifestyle. So these habits here can be good, but if you aren't already doing them, I recommend only stacking them into your monk mode cycle once you've gone through a few yourself and have already, mastered the consistency with the core 5 for a few months. So no caffeine has become a really popular rule people are stacking their monk modes these days, but unless you already don't drink caffeine and it's, not really a massive goal for you, then I wouldn't recommend this one. All of the studies that I've seen back up how healthy caffeine is for us, not just, neutral, it seems to be beneficial, and it's clear that a bit of caffeine each day has positive impacts on your energy, focus, and ability to get things done. So if you really want to remove it because, you have anxiety or something along those lines, I'd recommend only doing so when it's the main goal of your monk mode period. So you're probably going to do it during, for example, a relaxation period when you're traveling. It's really easy to cut out caffeine because usually caffeine helps us to focus and get work done. If you're on a vacation, you don't need to do that, so it's easy to quit caffeine during those circumstances, but in monk mode, not so much. I also think stretching is a great option for your exercise, especially if you're quite unfit at the moment or have some issues preventing you from getting other forms of exercise. You can count some kind of yoga routine as exercise, as long as you're getting around 30 minutes each day of movement, just moving your body. That counts as exercise. Now, not enough people really sit down and think deeply about themselves and their lives. Actually, writing down your thoughts for just 15 minutes a day can give you massive insights and motivation, which can provide needed energy for pushing towards your goals, right? So this is an easy one to stack in, as it can really help you reflect on the action that you take, gaining lessons that impact your results going forward. Now, this one is a little bit controversial, okay? Because cold showers, a lot of people think it's a waste of time, but simply turning the temperature all the way down to cold and, counting to 60 at the end of each shower is more than enough, and you definitely feel more focused as norepinephrine is released, triggering your flight or flight response because your body wants to get out of that cold water, and it gives you some energy and focus, and it's something that you don't want to do. So usually, things that you don't want to do are good things to do, because it will transfer into other areas of your life. So over the years, I've read or listened to hundreds of books, and I have a list of 600 that I want to read going forward, but this is a side habit because while it's important for anyone to bring in, new information, at a certain point, you have enough to work with, and it's time to simply take action. So if you're already reading, then I just, have that in your habit stack. Why not? You already enjoy it. Otherwise, wait until you master the other 5 main habits until you add this one in. Now, this one also kind of goes without saying, but eating a healthy diet is essential for your energy and ability to focus. So sticking to a whole foods diet is essential, whatever your preference is, as long as it's not, Coca-Cola and pizza. Because if your diet is terrible right now, though, then it's going to be a very slow journey getting it handled. So I'd say to only, add this one in if it's going to be already your main focus, or you're already doing it, just have it as a part of your current habit stack. Focusing our lives around completing a set of habits each day puts our focus into process orientation, meaning our goals are all about taking action and going through the motions we've set up for ourselves rather than focusing on the future, focusing on the outcome. It removes the mental pressure of deciding, what we should be doing each day because our actions have already been determined by our past selves. So removing the decision-making capacity and setting a schedule of habits that you will get done, that will get you to the goal that you want, will bring the focus and energy you need to take action on a daily basis, leading you on the straight path towards your goals. So how exactly should you do monk mode? Well, I like to think about it in terms of cycles. You have the macro cycle, the big picture, which I like to break up into 3-month periods. And then you have the meso cycle, which I usually have as a 1-week period. And then the micro cycle, which is each day. On the macro level, you need to take a really big goal, which could be building a business. That's a very broad and unspecific goal though, right? So you break that down into its component parts, maybe researching and choosing a business idea, sourcing and designing your products or services, and designing an offer for a particular niche, building, your website and social media, setting up your marketing software, generating leads in your niche, reaching out to 100 leads per day, and so on and so forth. So your overall goal for the macro level might be something broad like, building a business, a big outcome, but we break that down into process-oriented goals, meaning the goal is to take a certain action. It's not to get a certain outcome, such as, building a website. That's an action. And then each goal is to take place within a week. And we then further break that weekly goal down into individual tasks for each day. That way, you'll take small steps and then get big results over that macro. Because in order to get fast results, you need to do what all of the professional athletes do and have periods of immersion, because balance is nice and comfortable, but when it comes to getting results, it's never optimal. I mean, I tried the balance thing and it helped, I felt good, but if you want to achieve your goals fast, you need to follow these habits every day at a very deep level, because when you do periods of immersion, you're going to get exponential growth, and then you can use structured recovery periods to chill out and unwind. By setting up a 3-month period of focus, it removes the pressure of sticking to it forever, because once the 3 months is over, we can always move on to something else. But by giving yourself a timeline, it brings a lot more focus into our days, and each cycle becomes more efficient because we've laid out a detailed plan, and then we structure a rest period each day to release the pressure valve and recover from the day of intense work. Then at the end of the 3-month period, we might take, an entire week or entire month off to do whatever we want. So the idea of monk mode is very flexible. We can all do it however we want at the end of the day, but the point is to choose a really big goal that you want to achieve in the next few months, break that down into individual objectives and tasks, and then structure your day in a way where you're going to be completing habits that maximize your energy and focus to carry out that goal and actually get it done, small stepping it, taking it one thing at a time. You'll find within a few months, you'll be able to reach big goals pretty quickly. Now, listen, if you want to go deeper into how I personally make money online, check out the free training in the description below this video. Don't forget to comment any questions you have below this video. I personally answer all of my subscribers. Also, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you want, and don't forget to check out one of these 2 videos that you see on screen now. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon.